Go ahead.
So I wasn't quite sure what to ask, but I guess I'll just think of something. Just what was it like being part of the just Power Rangers universe and working alongside other people like Jason David Frank and, just all the greats and all you lovely people?
Man, it was exciting. For me, I actually used to watch the show before I got on it because I came on in season 2, and so I was very familiar with the show because back then, I just loved to watch anything that had martial arts on TV. So I used to watch the show, and I used to look at the guys and go, I could do what those guys are doing. Never knowing that I'd actually ever get the part, but yeah, it was kind of funny. So I was familiar with it. So when I got the part, I was super excited.
Yeah, it was like winning the golden ticket. I mean, it was one of the most amazing kid shows ever, and little did we know at that time that it would still be around 22 years later. Yeah. And you guys have been so loyal and so amazing. So thank you for making it
give yourselves a hand,
what
guys.
it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for not having a job in the 90s.
Exactly.
Power Rangers, the best daycare money doesn't buy.
Woohoo! Yeah, but it was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, what she said. Amazing. You guys aren't even in here to talk to us. You guys are just tired from walking around. This is the biggest, everyone, hold your hands up if your feet hurt. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's funny, 9 out of 10 dentists surveyed say wear comfortable shoes to the con.
Steve's giving out foot massages to the pretty girls later.
What about me? You could stroke my talons.
No thanks.
Thank you so much.
Save us, please.
Popcorn.
All right, because I know that you guys, you always did most of your own stunt work, But also, what does it feel like to you guys when, people like us come up to you and say, you guys were a big part of our childhoods, you guys are legends to our eyes. What does it make you feel in that kind of moment?
I mean, it's humbling because it's like you guys are, a whole generation of people, and you guys have turned into amazing adults. And so if we had anything to do with that just blows my mind.
Yeah, well, what makes me happy is you're all grown up now, and now you're my bartender. Which is good.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
No, you know
That
what?
would make me happy.
I get it. I relate because, when I was a young kid, I used to watch The Karate Kid. That was what, inspired me and got me into martial arts, because I was bullied as a kid. And so when I got into, to martial arts, and, that's kind of how it worked for me, So I understand when people come up and say that, to me, I
Is that what inspires you to wax your chest? Wax off?
I bet you've met Ralph Macchio, too, at some of these cons.
I did, yeah. I met him at a con, and we took a picture together, and I told him what you guys come up and said. I was like, you are the reason I got into martial arts. And he was like, oh, that's great, man. And we took a picture together, and it's like, it was my profile pic for a long, long time.
And also, one more thing before I let the next guy, behind me. I just want to say thank you for giving me something to watch since when I was a little kid. I'm almost 30 years old now, and I'm still watching you guys to this day. I still watch the Power Rangers movie. I don't care,
That's
what
right.
people
That's
say.
right.
You honestly, to my eyes, you guys are awesome. The whole franchise is awesome, and I just want to say, thank you overall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That's awesome.
Hey there. As you spoke to my compadre over there.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, I gotta say you guys are just awesome. And you guys look good for your ages. I mean, seriously. No, you do too, Bull. Come on, man.
For your ages. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you guys look like you're in your 20s. You look like you're an age.
Who said we're not? I was like 5 when I did the show.
Wow, well, okay.
Just really tall.
Wait, weren't you teenagers in high school?
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
We were 21-year-old teenagers, yes.
Teenagers with an attitude.
Oh, yeah. You guys skipped school a lot. So, my question to you is, upon watching the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, what was it like constantly, and there was one scene where basically all of you, with the exception of Bulk, all of you were pretty much doing cartwheel flips to get away from the Tangas instead of running, and I'm like, how did that feel? Did you guys do those, and did you
It's
get
much
dizzy?
more interesting to cartwheel flip away from your enemy. You know what I'm saying? You throw them off. They don't know how to take that.
What would you have rather watched as a kid? Would you have rather watched us just run away, or would you rather watch us flip away? What was more exciting for you?
What was cooler?
I don't know what was cooler. I was very confused. I'm like, and then I see Billy just hopping away, like going away. And I'm like,
He flipped faster than he could run,
Yeah,
you
he
know
did.
what I'm saying?
did you guys, any of you guys feel dizzy or did you hurt yourself during stunts?
No, we never hurt ourselves, but we did hurt some of the stuntmen, though.
We did.
They were actually pretty,
Oh yeah,
pretty
when,
cool about it.
when
yeah.
they were the Putty Patrol, right?
Yeah. Either
Well,
way, Tangas,
even
Putty
the
Patrol,
Tangas,
all of them.
Ouch.
They would.
Ooze men.
Yeah, they were all the same
Purple
stunt
Jamaicans
team.
anymore.
Well, you know how it is. Like when you get a paper cut, it's like the worst injury in history. Like it hurts the worst. Like you could lose a hand and it would hurt less than getting a paper cut. Well, those Japanese stuntmen, you know, I'm a total pansy for pain. I cut myself. I'm like, ah. But the Japanese stuntmen, if you would accidentally hit them in a scene, afterward they would be like, "Thank you very much." Be like, "But Taka, what? I just smacked you in the face. Thank you very much." It's a badge of honor to them because when they get hurt, it means that they're doing their job a-okay. GI.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And I
It's
seriously
interesting.
love in the movie that you got slimed. That was hilarious.
Yeah, boy, that was fun. Wasn't ready for that to happen.
Yeah, that never happens on the show ever either.
They were like, what could we dump on these guys today?
Well, your Megazord got slimed.
Yeah,
Yeah, it did.
it did.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of the
Thanks, bud.
history, and you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Name's Justin. Very nice to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you.
I have watched most of Power Rangers, favorite being SPD, and I realized that you guys are big stars as well. So I got two
I'm
questions.
huge. I'm huge in Japan.
So I've got two questions. One, how many people recognize you on the street?
Well, actually, we went to the Brick House last night, and these guys came up and like, "Hey, man, aren't you?" Oh, they're like, "Oh," they saw him. They're like, "Oh, wow." So,
If we're
yeah, it
together,
happens.
it's inevitable.
Yeah,
Yeah, it happens, of course.
Sometimes when we're standing by ourselves, it's not so recognizable.
You can
But when
blend
see one or
in.
two or three of us together, they get it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Especially when we start like wearing the wrong colors and stuff. People are like, "Wait a minute, you're supposed to be in yellow, and you're supposed to be in red."
Yeah.
People get mad if I don't wear red, but
Second, considering how long it's gone on, would you say Power Rangers is like the Japanese equivalent of Doctor Who?
Well, I think given the fact that the Sentai show started in 1972, so it's fairly analogous to Doctor Who actually. It was about the same level of cheese too, if you think about it. You know, cardboard robots, you know.
I think so. I think it could be.
Of course, it's Japan, so it's better.
Right, exactly. Automatically
You
better.
said that. Those Doctor Who
Totally.
fans will come and kill us if we say it.
Totally. Well, you know, you've heard that in Japan, you know, like years ago, like a pair of Levi's that were all scuffed up and stuff. It was like a $300 item in Japan, you know, and here we're like trying to get rid of our holy jeans, you know. And of course, we want to be Japanese, they want to be American. We should just swap countries, you know.
Definitely. All right, thanks very much.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Justin.
This
Adam.
question-
Adam. Folks, this is Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Give Adam a
What's up,
round of
buddy? Hey.
applause. Give him a round of applause. He deserves it.
Adam.
He deserves it. He's a good guy.
Adam.
Thank you.
This question's for Paul. You have directed a few episodes of Power Rangers. How did you transition into that role, and how did they resist? The cast members resist you when you first tried?
All right, so the question is directing the show. How did I do it? Well, you figure if you do anything for more than a couple of years, if you don't suddenly realize that I need to learn everything about what I'm doing, then you're kind of a dork. And so after 2 years on the show, I was like, what's that light? What's that camera? What's that lens? What's that power rating? How many volts is that? And they got so tired of me asking, eventually one of the ADs was like, you want to direct, right? Is that why you're asking all these questions? And I was like, yeah. And so they said, okay, well, you have to shoot a short film to show us that you can direct. So I did that. And then I showed it to them, and they let me do it. And then I cried, because it's the hardest job ever. Because not only when I was
He
directing...
was good. He was a good director.
Thank you. But remember, I was working with the kids and the monkeys.
Yeah, he got everything you don't want.
So when you
on
work
your first directing
when
gig.
you work with children in media, you can only use kids 4 hours a day because of their youth, right?
And they have to go to school too. Yeah.
Exactly, because of child labor laws. They don't want, barefooted children at 4 o'clock in the morning, making, spacely sprocket cog things. So you're on a time clock with the kids. And when they turn into pumpkins, which is what they say when the 4 hours is up, then you're like, I'm not finished shooting yet. What am I going to do? So you're looking around the set for the shortest person and like trying to put a wig on them. So very challenging. It's one of the hardest jobs. Directing for television is insano. Now, the second part of your question, did the actors resist me? Nah, because I was one of them, you know?
We wanted him to win. Like, we wanted him to fulfill that dream.
We were definitely pulling for that.
Yeah.
My goal was to like try to wrap the crew at like 4 o'clock. Because everyone's on a flat rate, we all get paid to show up. But if I can wrap the crew at 4 o'clock, I'm like a hero. I'm a working class hero.
And we shot so much. Like, we would shoot like 10, 15 pages a day. And like, most shows don't do that, you know? It's like such a, you know, so he was up against a lot. So we wanted him to win. I was excited that he got an opportunity to do that. Like, that's amazing for him.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah. We were in Australia, right? The first time you directed? Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for coming to visit us.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm like super excited to meet you guys. You made my childhood amazing. So,
Yay! You made our childhood amazing, too.
gosh. Well, I don't know if this question was asked before because we came in a little late, but if
You were late?
Well,
What?
I wasn't here exactly when you started, so that was late for me.
No worries.
So, if you guys could switch and be anybody else on Mighty Morphin, who would it be? Any other character? Who would you play?
I would be Lord Zed. I think he was awesome.
Yeah. That's
I like Lord Zed. I'd be Ivan Ooze too. I like the evil guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would be. I think I kind of like being Aisha, but
Yeah, no, I
if
wouldn't want to
had
switch because
pick-
I play the best character on the show. Are you kidding me? I get to like stomp on people.
Yeah.
Get a lot of free pizza.
Yeah, and no other character could handle the sass that I was given. You know
That's
what
true.
I'm saying?
That's true.
Like Kimberly would never have been the same if she had to be as sassy as I was.
You know what I like
But
about your
thank you.
character the most?
What?
Bangs.
My bangs.
Bangs. Those things were like an iron curtain, man. They were
Yeah.
like, boom.
I had bangs. I had the headband. I had the bobby socks. Everything matched. It was crazy.
Nice, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good question.
What up?
How's it going? Actually, a couple cons back, I saw Austin St. John, and he was telling me, or telling everyone about how after Mighty Morphin and all that, he actually started doing like civilian contracting, going helping the troops and whatnot. Was there anything that you guys are, proud of or happy of that you did after Power Rangers?
I stayed out of jail. That's a big thing.
Always a plus.
That's always plus. No, I think all of us have, I think I've had a great life after the show. That was just the beginning. And luckily for me, I got to go on and, work on other projects and work on other TV shows and get to really, get my feet wet. I always say Power Rangers got me ready for any freaking job because we got worked so hard that it's like everything from since then has been gravy. Like it's so easy to, work a day on a set because we would work the longest days, But yeah, I think what I've tried to do and what I love is, being able to come to all these conventions is really connect with you guys and really get to meet you. And you guys have really restored my love for what we did so long ago, and it blows my mind.
Me too, yeah.
It blows my mind every time I meet you guys and hear the stories and hear how you guys grew up to be real heroes and like you guys, it meant so much to you. So I feel like that's kind of like my good deed for every weekend is to become Aisha and just try to make as many dreams come true,
Show business is very insular. And when you work on a show, somebody brings you coffee in the morning. Somebody brings you breakfast. They tell you where to sit. They give you a place to live. Here's your car. Here's your money for the day. And we're gonna set you up, Mr. Schreier. And that is wonderful. And we did it for years and years and years. But then when it's time for that to be over, it's like you're a convict getting out after like a 10-year stint. Like you're on the street and you're like, what do I do now? Nobody brought me coffee today. So I'm proudest that I was able to not lose it. And I was able to reintegrate into a normal society. Because a lot of actors can't do it. A lot of people end up in the bottle or whatever they end up doing. So it's sometimes it's difficult. There you go.
Good question.
Take care.
Thank you.
Hi, you all. Thank you all so much for coming.
¿Cómo te llamas?
So one of my...
¿Cómo te llamas?
No hablo español.
What's your name?
Jeremy.
There we go.
Hi, Jeremy.
Thank you. So one of the most memorable scenes or like moments in Power Rangers for me was when you all were transitioning from like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to the Zeo, and there was like a couple like episodes set of that. So what was your most memorable moment from like working on all of the different Ranger sets?
His question was, because I don't know, do you want to ask again right into the microphone?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So, what's the most memorable moment for you all from working on the different Ranger sets? Like, either from, like, the movie or one of the shows?
Oh, wow.
One of the
There's so many. Like, there were so
Yeah,
many
there was a
different
lot. I
moments.
mean, so many that I kind of forgot because we did like in a 2.5 year time, 3 year time period. We did like 120 episodes, and Paul worked on what, like 400 episodes or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, Karen, you did like 100 episodes or something like that too. Yeah.
You know what I do remember though is our first like 2 weeks on set. The three of us, me, him, and Johnny, and Paulie was there because Paulie was like, he was assigned to be our acting coach to help us with our lines and just kind of help us, like, where to go on set.
Thank you for helping us, Paulie.
Yeah, where to go on set, what to do, how to stand on your mark. Like, there's so many things that you don't know about acting.
It really was. It was on-the-job training for us because I'd never done anything acting before. Ever.
Yeah, so he was kind enough to kind of just be there, like, just to talk to. But that was like really, really cool for me because it was like we kind of got, brought into this world and brought into this it was a high pace. It was almost intimidating in the beginning, but everybody kind of supported us and they kind of just said, do what we saw something in you, so do that, And then to go through that 2 weeks and actually at the end, you become a Ranger. Because we weren't even, listed as Rangers at that point until we officially got the power. Even in our pay, we didn't get paid the same until we officially became a Ranger. Then we were, we got to get other perks. But
Go on, tell me more about all that money you made.
I know, right? all those pennies, man. But anyways, it was cool. I think that for me was amazing because it was like we were kind of thrown into the fire, but then it was also scary, but it was also exciting. I told people, like, when I realized we were taking the place of people, that was very daunting to think about because not only were they 3 other individuals, but they were 3 really popular characters. Right. But then, the excitement kicked in that I'm like, wow, I'm living my dream. I get to be an actress. We get to do a movie. And, we kind of 3 share that. And I don't care, I meet a million other Rangers and I'm really close to a lot of people, but that's the bond we share, Can I ask Do you have a good memory?
Yeah, well, that period of time you talk about the transition MMPR into Zeo, right, yeah. I think that's kind of where Bulk and Skull started to lose the punk thing and to become more buffoonish antagonists rather than malevolent bullies. Well, I guess that was significant for us as Narvi and I were like, thank God they're making us stupid because we knew that that bully thing could not continue because it was too one-dimensional. Right. So it was nice to get to switch into a true moron.
Can I ask one more question? So if you could cosplay as any Ranger from any of the seasons, who would you pick and why?
Yellow, Mighty Morphin.
Okay, aside from your own character, who would you cosplay as?
Let me think. I'll make a game time decision. Go ahead.
Tommy, the Green Ranger shield.
Yeah?
I want that Green Ranger shield.
I want to cosplay as like a 4X Megazord.
Megazord, that's awesome.
I'll do that. And then when I take my shoes off, I am like, kick one Zord over here, and I kick the other Zord over here.
What does Johnny Bosch say? He's the crotch. And the Black Ranger is the crotch of the Zord. Totally. I know, right? Yeah, I think I'd want to be a Red Ranger. I'd want to be a leader.
There was the one girl Red Ranger from Samurai.
Yeah, she's the only one. So yeah, I'd want to do that.
We need more.
We need more.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
When is the all-girl Ranger team coming?
You guys would love that, right? If it was an all-girl Ranger team.
That.
The guys would love it and the girls would love it. For that one. Because the girls would be cute. You know that.
What's your question, bud?
Yes.
Hola.
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 What are your favorite colors?
In real life?
Yes.
Pizza. I mean, that's a color, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I know,
It's also a vegetable.
Enchilada? No. Right. No, I don't know. I like. I'm pretty monotone. It's funny. I think wearing yellow every day for as long as I had to, it like scarred me internally. So I won't wear it. I mean, I'll wear it every now and then to a con. But like, I always wear blue, black, gray. Like, it's so monotone. You know, it never goes past that.
It looks good on you too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, same for me. I wear a lot less red these days than I used to. Yeah, I usually more like to wear like dark blue and black stuff. Yeah. Or darker
I
colors.
wear pizza. Generally around the head and neck, but it doesn't last long. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
Hey.
What you doing?
2 questions for Polly.
Go on, Ian.
All right, so the first one, why wasn't Bulk Skull used more in the movie? And the second
Good question.
The second question is, have you ever done any improv?
Cool. Good questions. So Bulk and Skull absolutely were in the first MMPR movie, way more in the script. But as often happens when you're filming, schedules get weird and weird stuff happens, and then you get into a schedule crunch. And with the amount of money that you're spending every day on the film crew, secondary and tertiary characters and storylines, often this is happening, right? So you'll notice in one scene in the movie, we're like in the booth helping Ivan Ooze distribute ooze, and we're kind of acting evil. Well, it's because there's a scene that was cut where he recruits us to help him and zaps us with the blue superpower, and then we turn evil momentarily for part of the movie. So there was a lot of Bulk and Skull in the movie that was like chop suey because it just had to go. Yeah. What was your second question?
Have you ever considered doing improv?
Oh, improv. Well, improv is a little easier than stand-up, which, to me, I'd rather do Shakespeare than have to write my own material. With improv, you can be forgiven for sucking because you're being extemporaneous, right? But, so, sure, I like improv. Improv's fun. There's a lot of like improv games that are like very current and very hip in acting circles that everyone kind of knows the rules of the game and you can kind of riff off of each other really fast. So I think it's a valuable tool for performers.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you, Rocky.
Red Ranger.
Hi, I'm Carlos. Who was the Red Ranger? Who was your best? Was your mentor that from Tommy or Jason? Who was your one that you could just go ask in private and ask him what to do about?
Well, you know, like I said, I used to watch the show, so I was pretty familiar with it, and I thought Tommy was pretty cool, but I did like Jason, you know? I did like Jason as a leader, and, you know, when I got hired, we actually didn't even know who we were going to be. They were like in the wardrobes, and the wardrobe people were like, well, which one are you supposed to be? Are you supposed to be red or black? And I was like, I don't know. Johnny looked at me like, I don't know. They had to like actually go ask production like who was supposed to be who while we were getting fitted for our suits. It's kind of funny. They didn't even figure it out. They were like, oh, you know, I guess Steve will be the red one. We'll make Johnny the black one. And so yeah, but yeah, I liked Jason. I liked the character Jason. I liked his, you know, very like tough leader.
You know what? I mean, obviously, Tweet, like I said before, it was huge shoes to fill. Like, I've never heard nothing but wonderful things about her, and everyone loved Trini. Like, she had such a grace, you know, and I thought, you know, I wanted to see some episodes when we first got on, but they were kind of like, no, we kind of want you to just do something completely different, so don't watch it because your energy is different. And I'm kind of glad I did because I think you guys kind of like the fact that I didn't kind of copy her. You know, I kind of did my own thing. But yeah, like, I mean, she was amazing, you know, and I wanted to do it half as good as she did because she was so popular.
Because I told him in the booth when you was a bully and then facing another one that's making you feel like what you did to them, and then at one of the episodes when they said point at who's the Power Ranger, and you didn't tell no one. You stand up for them to thank you.
Yeah, man.
You bet, because you know Bulk and Skull always just wanted to be heroes, right? Just like all of us.
You guys should come back in the reboot and be the.
I'm already, man. I am back right now. I am back. Speaking of the reboot, what is that, like a giant elephant in the room? Is no one going to mention the landscape
No one's
film?
gonna mention it.
You guys are like, we know they're not going to be in it, so we don't want to say it.
Right.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, I hope whatever fat guy they get to play Bulk, I hope he's
He better
half
be
as
funny.
cute as me.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, ask Bill Shatner about Chris Pine. Thank you.
That was funny.
Ahead, what factor one?
All right, I actually have a decent one this time. Craziest fan experience that you've ever had?
Stalker!
we can't talk about that.
I started a website to like put pictures from the show up and stuff, like in the very early days of the wooden internet. And of course, when you register a domain, they have to have a place to send the bill, so you have to put your real address into the Whois database, and you can go to websites to see who owns what. And I had a ding dong at my door. Hi, I'm a huge fan.
Oh, wow.
Die.
Here's a picture of my son. Please come home with us.
Whoops.
Yeah, I had that a few weeks ago. Like, we were in Canada, and like we were coming downstairs, and I'm just kind of like always either early or on time, but I was early, and I was like, I'm gonna go down. There's a Starbucks in the lobby and whatever, and I was there with Sandy Selner, and she played Alpha. Well, she was one of the Alphas in the suit. And she was like, someone had contacted her over the weekend and had said, you know, I want to meet you guys. Can we have like a personal meeting or whatever? And I was like, I didn't answer the message because they sent me the same message, but they sent it to her. And she was like, oh, we can't do it. We've got to leave tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And they figured out where we were staying. So at 6:30 in the morning, when I'm going down to get my Starbucks, someone's down there waiting. And they're like, "Hi, Karen Ashley," and I was like, "Ooh," like, you know. But like, if you're in the airport, you know, it's early in the morning, it's dark outside. I don't know this person. That freaks you out. Like, that freaks you out when they've gone that far. And
it makes me feel bad for people that are mega famous, like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise can't go to 7-Eleven and pick up a Slurpee.
Right.
Right? Because he'll just get glomped. He'll just get, like, tackled. So I feel bad for him.
Yeah. This person ended up being perfectly nice and perfectly wonderful, but it just kind of throws you off for a second that someone did the work to figure that out. Like, that's just, you know, that's a little unsettling. Yeah. Especially when you're alone. I was like, why isn't my husband with me?
Yeah, fortunately, I really haven't had that kind of experiences, really, you know? I think...
Yeah, usually you're the stalker.
Yes. Why is everybody throwing me under the bus today, man? Jesus. Bad. Come on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I'm surprised you guys don't get those though, because the girls go crazy over the guys. Like, I've seen the girls do much more aggressive things than the guys ever do. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
Okay, so I actually have a very interesting question.
Go on.
Kind of interesting. So what's the most hilarious thing you've seen and or experienced on set that you can remember? The most hilarious.
Oh, God.
There's a lot of really naughty things that we can't talk about over here.
Jason Frank once mooned us, so is that
is true.
hilarious? That's like disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was bad.
Yeah, it looked like two dinner rolls sitting next to each other. But like unbaked.
Unbaked.
She was like, dinner rolls.
Like raw dinner roll.
Actually, I secretly still kind of chuckle because Jason David Frank was doing a stunt one time where he was practicing to try to do this tree flip. And he ran up the tree. He ran up the tree and missed and slid face first all the way down the bark of the tree and just scraped it the whole time of his face.
The first week of the movie.
First week of the movie, they had to shoot like half of his face for like this side of his face.
If you look at that scene when we're rollerblading, you never really see Jason Frank. That's his stunt double the whole time because his face was like just scarred, all on the side. It was, and Johnny Bosch was supposed to spot him.
Yeah,
and Johnny was like,
he's like, where'd he go? Where'd who go?
He didn't spot him at all. Where he was like, but it was funny because like they kept doing it like for like an hour. It was like how many times are you gonna run up and flip on a tree? Like I was like, God.
Yeah, usually Jason Frank's always like laughing, joking, all this stuff like that. When that happened to him, he was just like.
He was sad.
Nothing. Yeah, he was not happy at all.
Sad for like a whole 2 days.
Make no mistake, Jason Frank is one of the most amazing martial artists that I've ever seen with my own eyes. I've seen him defy gravity, tell a joke in the middle of the air, and then land in the same spot. He's amazing.
He's great. Yeah, exactly.
But he's also super freaky.
Right. So to see him make that mistake was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was sad. He was really sad about
I
it.
actually heard he pulled a prank on David Yost during the Mighty Morphin movie. I don't know what prank
It was like a million. Which one?
Yeah,
It was like 1,000 of them. He
I
put
feel like
a
it had
fly. He put a fly in his peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's what it was.
He peed on his shoe. I mean, he did so many things. David will tell you. If you ever meet David Yost, ask him. He'll tell you about everything.
Oh no, I already met him. Hilarious.
Like, when was Jason Frank not pulling a prank on David
When
Yost?
he's sleeping.
Yeah. Ouch. Well, thank you so much for.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions? Now is your chance.
Inquiring minds want to know.
This is the time. Actually, I have a
Going
question.
once. Yeah.
Did you guys get to keep any of your outfits or any of the props from the show? Any keepsakes?
We weren't supposed to keep anything.
What did
but
you steal?
I don't know.
What do you have? 'Cause
No,
I have
no.
nothing.
Nothing.
I am so jealous right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why
I walked
didn't
away
you
with
tell me you were gonna? Why didn't you tell me you were gonna take?
What do you have,
something?
Steve?
I don't know. Well, actually, one of the things that I have is I have the boots from the movie when we did the hands and feet print in the cement at the Chinese theater. Remember that?
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't know.
I have
done it.
half of the incredible Bulkster costume.
Nice.
Yeah, and I have the eye patch from One-Eyed Bulk from the Old West episodes.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
I love those episodes.
And I have some shirts that I would never wear.
Some tie-dye shirts.
Exactly.
I don't have anything. I wish I would have stole something. Like, I found out that the
that
videos and Jason
the Yellow Ranger wishes she would have
I
stolen.
wish I would have stole.
It's okay to steal.
The same person who said I stayed out of jail.
Well, that's how you stayed out of jail. You never actually stole anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, David Yost and Jason both stole their ninjetti costumes.
Awesome.
But yeah, I wish I would have did that.
Actually, in Power Rangers Samurai, if any of you watched that, you might remember there's a dream sequence in which I am in the only 4X samurai costume that exists on the planet. And it was my birthday when we shot that. And I asked for that costume about 800 times, and at the end of the day, it was in my room.
Yeah, nice.
Boom. And then I took it to Burning Man. And people were like, is that a real sword? I was like, yes.
That's sick, man. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
What about a favorite villain from the show?
Jason Frank. It's my favorite villain from the show.
Wasn't he?
I'm an old school. Rita, Zed,
Yeah.
Goldar. I love them.
Ivan Ooze is probably like my favorite villain though, I think.
The putties are so underrated. I love the putties.
I love Ivan News because you guys grew up with MMPR, so you have kind of a soft spot for it, right? Well, I grew up with Indiana Jones and Paul Freeman, of course, with Billock. And when I first got to meet Paul, I was dorking so hard, just geeking. I couldn't even speak. Sound familiar?
He was fangirling. They call it fangirling.
I glomped the hell out of him. It was awesome. So Ivan News all the way.
Yeah.
And he's like even more amazing when you meet him. Like, he is just beyond talented. Like, I would just like sit there. The way his timing, the way he would do every line was so amazing.
Paul Freeman, I don't know if any of you guys know this, but Paul Freeman has funded the expansion and establishment of a orphanage school in Sudan. And he and his wife and a coalition of folks in the UK have done some amazing work in Africa. Amazing.
Amazing.
That's awesome.